having beaten Leeds and drawn at Warrington in the last 2 games. And Salford recorded their first win of the season last week against Lee in Kevin Tarwaty's first game as coach. The kick from Nolan. The take by Tex Evans, the former Swinton man. Kerry feeding Gibson, who always supports his attack well from fullback, the Australian. Ian Blease forced back. And a useful little kick for Salford. Well, David Watkins is with me, as always, in the commentary box. And David, with the starts that these two sides have made this season, they'll both be keen for the 2 points today.
Yes, they will. I always found it difficult in front of a critical audience here at the Boulevard. Salford won't find it any easier. They will, as you rightly said, have a new enthusiasm for their coach, and I think this is what they'll be looking for today. And Brian Smith was saying before the game that what he's looking for Hull is really to improve the quality of their performance. So with those two sides out to make an impression, we should have some game.
Windley, and here's Noel Cleland, times the pass beautifully, and a real race down the touchline here for Chico Jackson, and he's gone past Gibson, but a fine tackle from Mark Brooke-Cowden. But the timing of the pass there from Crusher Cleal was absolutely spot on.
Yes, it was. It just goes to show what experience can do. He just drew the man and passed the ball, leaving the wing plenty of room to manoeuvre the touchline.
Windley will be looking to switch the point of attack as John Sharp comes romping in towards the line. Hull in a great position here for an early score. Can they get one? Andy Dannett, no try. Andy Dannett didn't ground it, but Hull looked really menacing there.
Well, they did. It's the first time they've really moved into the Salford half and scored, and that must cause Salford some worries.
Yes, it certainly must.
This is the power of the man, and I mean, the ball was knocked from him there, no try on that occasion. It just goes to show the power of the Hull team and its forwards.
Salford are already having to think of a change in personnel due to Steve Gibson's hobbling at full back. Really looks in trouble. Crooks, the captain. Lee Jackson. It's more Dannett. Real glutton for work, Andy Dannett. So the pass was forward. Treatment also being administered out here to Ian Bragger. So Salford in the wars very early on, and that doesn't augur well for their prospects. But Steve Kerry whips the ball away, and Adrian Hadley has a great chance of a try. Adrian Hadley is still going, and Adrian Hadley squeezes over in the corner. First try of the match goes to Salford at a time when they look to be in disarray with 2 men hobbling, and Hull really caught napping there. And it was Kerry who started it, Hadley who finished it.
Well, Salford moved the ball out to Hadley, and it's nice to see him taking men on the outside.
Well, the most difficult kick so far out. And wide of the left upright. No success there then for Steve Kerry, but Salford get the first points of the game. Well, I really felt there, David, that Hull were caught napping.
Well, they were, and what has been interesting in this game so far is that only 2 concentrated efforts on either side have one nearly produced a try for Hull, and the other one made it all so simple when Hadley crossed in the corner for a Salford try.
Tex Evans. And he's a sight to behold when he's in full flight, a very chunky and powerful wingman. Salford are trying to move the ball around now, and it whizzed through the hands there, almost intercepted in fact, but they're showing a willingness to throw the ball around now. Like they must have been hearing David. This one should bounce rather kindly for fullback Nolan, who's been switched into this position because of the injury to Steve Hick. Nolan, who in fact scored on his debut at Salford last year. Wilby. Windley, that's a better time pass for Sharp. Still nailed at the last moment by Brooke Cowden. On the last tackle then. And Hull looked to have plenty of men over on that right-hand touchline there, and the ball switched back inside to Noel Cleal, and Cleal gets it away, and Hull have got their equalising try. Paul Eastwood is the man, and again Cleal's part in the try was really prominent. He deserves the pat on the back, and when Noel Cleal runs like that, he looks quite ferocious. And he opened the way for Eastwood.
Well, Crusher Neil now making the break, but I mean, it's also simply draws the man in. Eastwood goes under the tackle. Not a very good tackle by Gibson. Should have gone down low and make him the easy task of scoring right underneath the post.
Well, Paul Eastwood was here at the Boulevard this morning practicing his goal kicking. Let's see if all the practice is going to pay off. This certainly should be a very simple conversion for him. Easy enough indeed, and Hull have the lead for the first time by 6 points to 4. And Paul Eastwood actually relinquished goal-kicking duties during the game at Warrington last week and was criticised by his coach for doing so. He thought he'd lost his confidence.
Well, the ball is moved out. I mean, it's moved out here, only gone wide, and that caught the Salford defence napping. Cleal takes the ball, but draws the man perfectly yet again, underneath a poor tackle, and this is something Salford will have to do better with, and Eastwood scores right across under the post.
Quickly. That's a long kick and straight into the Bretney stand. They'll be disappointed with that. And they'll be even more disappointed with going offside. Well, referees are often criticised for not playing the offside as much as the spectators would like, but this referee certainly is doing.
Well, there wasn't much doubt about that neither, and that was two sad parts of Salford's play, really. They laboured a bit when throwing the ball back to the full-back to clear. He didn't clear and was caught by the attackers coming through, and of course then they didn't move back the 10 yards, and the referee came in quickly, and now they're in desperate trouble because it's a fairly easy kick for goal.
Paul Eastwood, I've no doubt, is looking for some sort of confirmation that he's regained his kicking touch, having lost it at Warrington last week. And if he can make it 2 out of 2, it will boost his confidence no end. So, it's a good side for a left-footed kicker to kick from, and he makes it count as well. So Paul Eastwood's second goal, 8-4 Hull. Dammett, who seems to have been involved in most of the attacking moments. They're bringing it right. Windley's kicked through, fumbled, and well, Hull will have another 6 tackles. And again, Salford had the chance there to have the ball back in their own hands. It wasn't taken. And now Gay. It's all a little bit hurried at the moment too. Folks. Unremitting tackle from Tex Evans, but he used his head. You're not allowed to do that. Paul Eastwood elects to put the ball into touch, so it means that Hull are trying to pick up another 6 points. They'll certainly run it now with Folks back inside, and Chico Jackson, is he there? He should be. Chico Jackson's first try for Hull's first team. A proud moment for him. And it was right to take the tap penalty.
Well, as we can see, it was from a tap penalty. Really, this is when the defence should be sharp, but both defenders allow him to crack over.
So Paul Eastwood tries to make it a hat-trick of successful kicks. And if he does, Hull will open up a 10-point advantage. Difficult angle for him. Oh, very good try as well. And smack against the outside of the upright, so it stays Hull 12, Salford 4.
Well, Salford suffered here because they had the chance to clear the line, they didn't. A tap penalty and really a simple drive of poor defensive play.
It's out on the Salford side. Little Brown, the ball back inside, and Burgess gets his hands on it for the first time. Oh dear, what a muddle. And somebody said something out of turn, and that's again rather stupid from a Salford point of view.
Well, it's indiscipline, and I think they are complaining more about things that are not happening than the things that are happening. And what they've really got to do is stand deep, move the ball wide, and have their big forwards coming onto it quickly, because they've shown they can break the Hull defence. They aren't doing it. They're making too many mistakes, a result of which really Hull are capitalising on Salford's poor play rather than their own approach play.
Well, Paul Eastwood's had a number of opportunities in this first half. He's been successful twice. Looks for a third. What a good kick. A really good kick from Paul Eastwood. And he increases Hull's lead to 14-4. 10 points are going to take some making up.
Well, they haven't really had to work hard for it. It's really been down to Salford's misgivings. But what Salford have to do now is really get back in touch with the game and start making things count.
Still Hull carry the fight with Windley. Quite a good return to the side. He's not been in the best of form this season. Here's Wilby again. Now Cleal. And Cleal, if he can get that one away, will give Jackson a chance. And Jackson deciding to chip over the top of his opposite number. And the ball picked up for Hull. And the try will be disallowed, although Gay touches down. The try is disallowed. The hooter sounds. And Hull have a half-time lead of 14 points to 4. 10 of those points coming from Paul Eastwood. He's got a try and has kicked 3 goals. The other try has come from Chico Jackson, and that after Adrian Hadley's try for Salford. 14-4 it is then. Join us again for the second half after the break. Hull leading Salford 14 points to 4 as the second half gets underway. From the boot of Rob Nolan. Well, one man missing from the Hull lineup, sadly today, because of injuries, is the former Welsh Rugby Union international, Gary Pearce. He's on the touchline with Nick.
Gary, good to see you. Not a perfect performance in the first half, but the score's right.
No, we let them play the ball a little bit too much, I think. They seem to get the ball a lot in tackles, which obviously Salford like to do, and all we've got to try to do is stop that and get them under pressure, really.
You look a little bit short of confidence at the moment.
Well, we've had a bit of a rough start early in the season. Last week was a good point, which I thought we should have had a good win. But I think if we can get another score, I think then we can settle down a little bit and take it not easy, but certainly try to play a bit better football.
And in a word, how long until you're back?
Well, not too long, I hope. Maybe a couple of weeks.
Great, thanks so much, Gary.
Well, the whole fans will look forward to that. And they were on the attack there, as you could see, but Salford have managed to secure the ball again. So in the first half, Salford edged the scrums 3-2. None were won against the head by either hooker. And Salford, a penalty count against them of 8 to Hull's 4. But quite a number of errors in play. Hull making more than Salford. That surprises me, David.
Yes, it does really, because I would have thought the half-time space from Tamati would have been a little more purpose and commitment. They must run from deep and not drop so many passes as they have done in the first half. Hull haven't had to work too hard. They've capitalised really on Salford's mistakes, and really they, as Gary Pearce said, with an early score they can settle down, and perhaps we can see a little more football from them.
A little kick ahead from Ian Bragger, who might regather. The ball came off his toe end and has now fallen kindly for John Sharp, who gets it away for Lydiard. Lydiard trying to make a break down the touchline, and Steve Kerry's tackle on him was good enough. Eastwood, again it's Sharp. Powerful surge from the second rower. Eastwood, Windley, Gay, and now they'll try and whip that ball away through the hands, and a real chance here for Hull, and a terrific surge from Nolan, but a poor ball. Oh, it's still here. Gay, Cleal, Wilby, Cleal again, and Noel Cleal is over. And what a popular try for a very popular man. And Noel Crusher Cleal gets his second Hull try. He's first here at the Boulevard for the club. So joy for the Australian, joy for the crowd, and Salford were always struggling in defence there.
Well, this is what we really have been expecting from this Hull side. Nolan came into the line at speed, split the Salford defence, caught them napping, throws the ball inside. It doesn't really go to hand the first time, but so good is the backing up here that it's snapped up very, very quickly, and a lot of interchange passing now between players brings the ball forward. And Cleal, as ever, alert to the whole situation, picks it up on the outside for an excellent score, covering some 70 yards.
An excellent score indeed. Paul Eastwood takes Hull onto the 20-point mark. And one imagines they've got too many points already for Salford. Rampling. Brown this time manages to find some space and find Blease. This is better for them as Tex Evans goes for the corner, cuts inside, and that's a really good wingman's try. Well played by Tex Evans. He deserved that from the very moment he got the ball into his hands. There was only one place he wanted to end up, and that was over the try line.
Well, Salford knew that they had to put something together here, and the half-back here takes the men out of play. Tex Evans is coming into the picture just after this, and this is where he really goes through. He pushes off one tackle, stops to come inside, checks himself, and this is a just reward for all his efforts this afternoon.
So Tex Evans, the ex-Swinton man, 4 tries for him now this season, justifying his £40,000 transfer. The kick to follow is a swirler, just wide again. So no joy for Steve Kerry. It's Hull 20, Salford 8. Rampling once more. And the ball back again, and once more you've got to say that Salford really gave it away. Nolan pirouetting there. A lot of heavyweights out there. It could be a heavyweight score as Cleal tries to get Jackson away once more down the left. The ball was knocked back. Oh, the kick over by Windley, who's trying to regather his own kick. And half a dozen players dive on it, and the try is given for Chico Jackson. A little dance. And Chico Jackson, having got his first try this afternoon, has already got his second.
Sloppy defence for Salford has caused them havoc all afternoon, and this is a typical example. Chip over the top, hesitant defence, ball bounces back into play. Jackson on the alert, touches it down.
As Eastwood kicks and wins applause for himself, there's applause over on the touchline, because while Eastwood was doing all that, the number 4 went up, Hull leading 26 points to 8, but Noel Cleal has gone off. I would imagine Salford are glad about that. Let's find out. He's with me.
No, I would think John Helder is saying that Salford are glad you're off the pitch. Had a good afternoon so far.
Oh yeah, I suppose so. You know, we got the victory, so it all points to the start of a roll, I suppose.
The crowd enjoyed your try a little bit. I think you did too.
Yeah, I don't get to score many, so I suppose it's good to cherish the memory while it's there.
And you're not injured, you're just having a little breather, are you?
No, more fatigued than anything, but I'll never mind a few more games on my belt, but I'll be right.
Thanks very much indeed.
Never heard an Australian use the word fatigue before. Lydiard is off. David Lydiard wants a try of his own, and it wasn't to be because Evans is on the ball. Well, they're really swinging it around now, and from one end to the other, Salford trying to build through Ken Jones and Kerry, Hadley. Well, interesting to hear Noel Cleal say he doesn't score many tries. You couldn't tell that to the Great Britain team 2 or 3 years ago. He got a few against them.
You certainly couldn't, and such as his good play. I mean, to play in the forwards and play in the backs as capable as he plays says much for him as a player.
Well, it's a good job we got our interview. He's coming back. There's no keeping the crusher down. That was all because David Liddy just got a knock on his shoulder. So Cleal is back in the thick of it. And so is Wellham here. He's right in the thick of things. And the ball inside for Nolan. Good tackling from Burgess, as he was in full flow then. Windley, Sharp. And they're really whipping the ball around now, and Richard Gay stretches his left arm, stretches it over the line, but the try is not given. Salford did well not to concede another one then. And I've no doubt Salford are missing the likes of Peter Williams and David Cairns. Gay's gone to full back now. Oh, he's still going. Well, he's a promising lad, is this Richard Gay, just 21. He's come into the side 3 weeks ago. Windley checked. He fooled himself almost in the end. Lee Jackson. Windley. Here's Cleal. And Cleal is away. And a rampaging run from Noel Cleal. He wants to get there himself, I think. Still goes. And in the end, he's got Paul Eastwood in at the corner. And again, Cleal, the architect. Eastwood, the executor.
Well, from the acting half-back, and the ball comes out. Cleel takes it on the burst, having just come back onto the field in a substitution earlier. He now straightens up the whole defence, split the defence completely. Look how he watches. This is class player when you have time to think what's happening. He's now waiting, draws the man, puts Eastwood the simple task of stepping inside his man and crashing over for a try.
So Paul Eastwood has yet another opportunity to convert. I think he's taken that opportunity as well. What an excellent kick by Paul Eastwood. Good day for him. 32 points to 8 as the whole lead. And what a nightmare it must be if you're a defender when you see this fella charging at you.
Well, Salford defence has cracked on many occasions, and this time is no exception. He just pushes the man off. That's really just using his full weight. But look how he sets it all up. He doesn't pass inside. He takes on the defence on the outside, slows it all down to get Hadley going, gives the simple task for Eastwood to step inside his man and score in the corner.
Well, Hull have certainly got some belief in themselves now, more than they had in the first half.
Yes, I think they were satisfied to rely on making the most of Salford's mistakes in the first half without really having to show too much initiative. Obviously, Brian Smith at half-time has told them they've got to start playing the game their way. They've certainly taken on Salford in that respect the second half, and they've scored some excellent tries as a result of it.
David, such is the discipline in the modern game. You don't often see this now, but Salford twice today have conceded penalties for saying something to the referee.
Well, that's always the case with a side that's really having problems on and off the field. They've had no doubt. They've really got to overcome that, and it is a professional game, and discipline is the name of it.
Lee Jackson, Wellham's with him in support, and Wellham bursts through, and Paul Wellham is going to get a try straight from the tap, and that was really poor defensive work by Salford. All credit to Wellham, but poor defence.
This try really says it all. It is merely a tap penalty and just poor defensive play. But you've got to give it to the guy. He runs straight, he runs hard, he knows where he's going and scores a simple try.
Well, it was like driving a bus through that gap for Paul Wellham, and he took his chance well. Disconsolate Salford players stand behind the posts as the ball sails through them again from the boot of Paul Eastwood, who's really recovered his appetite for goal kicking today. And at this moment he's registered 22 of Hull's 38 points.
Well, Salford haven't learned anything at all. Again, it's a poor defensive lineup, catching them napping. Wellham just simply runs straight over 25 yards, crosses in the corner, even has time to go across nearer to the post.
Strong running from John Sharp. This time they do tackle him. Dannett. And everybody wants the ball now. Folkes has it in his hands, and Steve Folkes swings it back inside. Lee Jackson, Richard Gay. What a good try for substitute Paul Doherty. He's not been on the field very long, but it's long enough for him to get his name on the scoreboard. And it is becoming easy as the fans are chanting, and Hull go on to 42 points. And the overlord, Brian Smith, has the perfect view from his own private box.
It's been a gradual demise of Salford in the second half. Poor tackling again, good backing up. And just look at Hull. I mean, they take their time. There's 1, 2, 3 men in the picture in some instances. The ball goes out to Doherty, the reserve. He goes over, he'll be delighted.
Seven tries, 7 goals. Very dejected opposition, and it's 7 tries and 8 goals. So easily struck by Paul Eastwood. and it's becoming embarrassing for the team from Lancashire.
Look, the ball's moved out. Salford defence again. Even players with their backs to the man, which is criminal in this game. You just can't afford to do it. The ball is moved about. The defence doesn't know whether to come in, stay out. Players running haphazardly. Tackles going in not very well. And look at them. They are lining up for the ball. It could have gone to 1, 2, 3 of anybody. But it isn't. The substitute Doherty who takes it. He'll be delighted with that.
I know horrors with me. Don't you watching this afternoon? No players like watching very much, but it's been entertaining so.
Yes, it's been a great entertaining game this afternoon. I'm sure all the spectators down here have got their money's worth this afternoon.
Dare I ask how you as a winger feel watching both the other wingers scoring a couple of tries each?
Well, it's good to see that Hull said moving the ball around this afternoon, and I'm pleased for both wingers. They've both had good games today.
Young Chico Jackson, a good prospect.
Yes, he's looking very well today.
Dane, thanks very much indeed.
Here's Andy Dannett, workhorse of a prop forward. Doherty and Welland, the two substitutes combining now. And eventually he'll go over, or will he? No, he won't. He'll have to play the ball. Cleal, still in the thick of it, and getting the pass into Wilby. Wilby along the ball out for Nolan. To Wilby again. The travelling Wilby after his days with Sinistave and Canberra. Dannett. Oh, now Worrell spills the ball when he had the chance. Well, things have gone totally Hull's way, and Brian Smith has come down from his crow's nest. He's with me.
It's fine nothing for you, I think.
The scoreboard's certainly the best we've seen for quite a while. Something we knew we were capable of, but still some rough areas, I guess, in our play, but gratifying, that's for sure.
And the crowd have found a real new favourite in Crusher, clearly, haven't they?
Yeah, well, it'll be frightening, I think, when Noel gets himself completely fit. He hasn't played a lot of football this season. He's certainly not, not in the action as much as we'd like him at this stage, but when he is, I wouldn't like to be in the opposition.
Nor would I. And young Chico Jackson, you give him the first game, and he's done very well indeed.
I'm sorry.
Young Chico Jackson's playing his first game and doing very well indeed for you.
Yeah, Chico's a confident young guy, and I think he's enjoyed himself this afternoon. A couple of tries on, I think it's his full team debut. A couple of rough edges on his game too. Tex Evans scored one try on him, but nevertheless, very good game. Chico will be pretty satisfied, I think.
I think we all will, Brian. Thanks very much indeed.
It's very demanding coach is Brian Smith. Kerry, and good link from the, oh dear, what a shame that was for Regan. He made the break and then just lost the ball. And it's victory for Hull, and such a convincing, emphatic victory as well. Their supporters will go home very happy indeed. They've scored 7 tries. Cleal got one of them, and he made a couple as well. Both wingers scored 2. Wellam and Doherty got tries as well. And for Salford, just 2 consolation tries from Adrian Hadley and from Tex Evans. The final score then, Hull 44, Salford 8. So who was the Stones bidder man of the match? David Watkins.
Well, very little doubt, I think, this afternoon. Noel Cleal. 3 things in particular shone out amongst all others. Perception, strength, and timing of a pass. Not only did he score a try this afternoon, but also his timing of the pass in putting Paulie stood in for that spectacular try. Well done, Noel. Not only making tries now, but scoring them as well.
Like when you get to my age and you don't score many tries, you start to enjoy it. So it was good. It was a good feeling.
Were you rather surprised you were taken off and brought back on straight away? Was that a bit of a shock to you?
Oh, not really. That's the rules over here. If it had been in Sydney, we would have lost the 2 points. But over here, that's the rules, and if it happens, it happens.
Well done. There's more life in the old dog yet.
Thanks, mate, and thanks to Stones. I'll certainly bring it tonight.